Hans Wormhat. I saw this comment on Reddit, and I think it kind of applies to school going back in, and it's a big thing going on right now, so I figured I'd make a video. This is too much. Can't take this much longer. What is all this for? Changing the way people line up? It's also stupid, such a big waste of time. Can't believe people just carry on like it's okay to treat people like cattle. And you can read the rest if you want. I'll stop at that cattle thing because there's a reason they call it herd immunity. Here's a response. Very bad people took over the world and are amusing themselves before they're dragged to hell. The whole school experience is for creating an obedient, indoctrinated slave class the higher ups can push around as they please. You know how people go insane when they're locked in solitary confinement for years. People also go insane when they're stuck in a school for 13 years being fed lies, stuck at a desk and yelled at when they speak out of turn. The NWO is already here. And one of the easiest ways you can see that the NWO is already here is just total compliance. Every country out there is doing something. There's not a single country out there that's like, nah, we're not doing any of it. There's not a single state out there that's like, nah, we're not doing any of it. You're only going to get very, very, very fringe places. But for the most part, everybody's going along with it. Basically, all the box stores and all the supermarkets are going along with it. All the universities are going along with it. How could there possibly be such huge cohesion, compliance? And it's because they're all a part of the same thing. They're all tentacles of the NWO. It's an umbrella. It transcends all aspects of society and all branches of society, all places. You know how God is omniscient and omnipresent? Satan wants to be like God, so Satan does the same thing, reaches his tentacles out everywhere. That's why every single school is going to be doing something similar to this. So I took this from Berkeley. I'm not going to read all the little details. I'm going to actually flip through these pretty quickly because anybody can go look this up. It's just from Berkeley talking about their move-in. And so the point that I want to make with this is I believe that right now what's going on with the university move-ins is they're kind of testing the waters and they're showing people what it's going to be like. Just it's going to be total submission to the system, and I guess you could say predictive programming, or they're trying to get people used to this kind of thing because this is just how they keep trying to say new normal. When the beast system is totally in place, there are going to be this kind of draconian total submission to the medical, like they're going to be able to force you to get any test at any time, quarantine you for anything, and I guess I'll just keep it at that. So this is talking about everybody that's moving in needs to get tested. Total submission. If you refuse to get tested, you can't move in. Not only that, there's going to be additional testing. There's going to be regular testing during the semester to help identify asymptomatic residents. There's no discussion about whether if somebody's asymptomatic, can they actually even infect somebody else? Has anybody even proven that's how the nature of infection works? And I'll just leave it at that. There's been a lot of people rethinking these things these days. How infection works, infectious diseases, especially things like the cold. How does that work? So face coverings, they're going to be enforcing all the rules. University, it's going to be a big, think of it this way. It gives them the ability to have a big sample size of, okay, let's test this out. Let's see how well people follow all the rules. And now all the university systems work as kind of their individual data point and give them information about how easily people submit to all these tests. And they're going to push it. And each university might do their own little thing. They might be testing different things. I don't know. Following the sequestration period, we still require you to abide by pandemic mitigating measures, even when engaging with your student residential housing grouping. Oh man, just the wording sounds just crazy, like from a dystopian novel. These are your expectations. You can pause and read if you want. They're basically confined to their housing unit. which is probably going to vary from school to school what they allow you to do. So remember, this is from Berkeley. Look at this. You are expected to avoid engaging with anyone outside your residential housing grouping. This includes traveling home to visit family or visiting friends or partners who are not in your household grouping. This is going to be the most chaotic, strange year ever. The first year of college, most people who live on campus are first year, and the whole college experience can be traumatizing. They need that support of friends and family. Many of them might have boyfriends or girlfriends that they would still like to visit, but they're going to cut all that off. And isolation is a form of torture, and people use it when indoctrinating people into cults. Isolation, sleep deprivation, that type of thing. The residential experience, it's just like a joke to try to call it that. What experience? Torture. This is just torture. It'll look different than in past years as we navigate a new normal. It makes me sick. Daily symptom screener. I wanted to talk about this. Now, this is what makes me think that they want to get people used to the idea of more and more intrusive measures on your day-to-day life. Oh, you want to enter this building? Get your face scanned. That's just going to be a really common thing. You want access to this building? Get your forehead scanned. Doesn't that seem scary if you know your Bible? Take pledges. Got to take a pledge. Take the Keep Berkeley Healthy pledge. They make people take a pledge. And it's very much a biblical idea to be taking pledges. Those are your expectations. Here I just looked up pledge, came up many, many times in the Old Testament talking about pledges. And I always think back to how creepy the Pledge of Allegiance was in school. Like now, if I went back, I would never say it. I would never ever say that now that I'm a full-grown adult. It makes me feel so creepy. Like it's cult-like. Just like you gotta take this Keep Berkeley Healthy pledge. It's gonna all be under the guise of medical. This is like medical tyranny. It's crazy. And yeah, I guess I'll just make that connection. There is this connection between prisons and schools and hospitals. Where else is it when you submit yourself in, you're stuck in there, you're locked in there? It's schools and hospitals are just like prisons. If you send your child off to school, they can lock your child away and not give them back to you. If you submit yourself to a hospital, they can lock you in there. Doctors become your warden. That's how hospitals work. That's one reason I hate hospitals. They feel like a prison because you're locked in there. Schools are the same way. Anyways. So, I'm just going to end with this, with a few different stories. Northeastern dismisses 11 students for anti-COVID partying. They won't get their $36,500 tuition back. I think this is just a made-up BS story. They like to threaten. They like to threaten people with stories like this. Who knows? Maybe there do exist 11 students, but they're in on it. They're Masonic. They got told, hey, you get to take the semester off. You get to be a part of this hoax. And because what they're doing is they're just threatening people. You don't listen to us, we're going to kick you out and take away your tuition. I highly doubt that happened. And see what that person's doing? Smells like BS. Something smells. That's why they're doing that. And the nose knows. Something smells like BS. Anyways, you can read about this if you want to. This made no sense. How hilarious was this? The students were asked to move out to be tested. If they've been kicked out, what does it matter? Why are they going to be tested? I would just say no. Like, I'm leaving. Enter quarantine if they test positive. Total submission to the system. Once you admit yourself to one of their institutions, you're locked in. I think that this is probably a fake story because there's an 11, and because that picture with the smelling stuff. And also just because this is something that they like to do. They like to scare people into submission with these fake spook stories. It's just like the countless stories that they tell you of people getting arrested for posting things online. I don't think anybody has ever been arrested for posting like a meme online or truth stuff. No. They like to scare people. 35,000 tuition for something that could be almost entirely just copied to a flash drive and sold for $5. Yeah, modern education is a joke. Don't even want to get into it. I'll argue the 36,000 was a cheap lesson about tyranny. You can't install that on a flash drive. And I'll just end with this. Look at all these really recent articles about 33. 33 students, 5 adults in quarantine. Broken Arrow Public Schools announced 33 employees test positive. So the 33 Orange Club is going to be all over this new normal school BS. And I guess I'll just stop and say something positive. If you're looking for a reason to homeschool, like, this is it. And this has been really useful for me because my oldest child is 5 now. And so everybody has just been constantly asking about school, up before this recent event. But now that this event just happened, it's like the easiest get out of school card ever. Oh no, we're not sending them off for that. So I guess that's the plus side. If you were looking for an excuse to not send your child to school, or to take your child out of school, or to convince your child that maybe college isn't the best use of time, like, this is just so easy to not send your child off to something so insane. But here you go. It's all 33 Orange. Notre Dame, I already talked about this one before. 33 Notre Dame students tested positive. Okeechobee students test positive. 33 students. This one said 27 students test positive, and 27 is 3 cubed, 3 to the third. But then they say they're monitoring 33 students. So they had a 27, but then they also had that 33 hanging out. Tavares High School football players test positive, 33 quarantined. 33 inmates at Virginia Peninsula. Dozens of Georgia Tech students test positive. How many? 33. Here were some more 33s. There might be some repeats in here, I don't know. Gettysburg College, 33 students. COVID-19 infections jumped 33% in just 10 days. 3 students, 1 employee test positive. An additional 33 students and 17 employees are currently in quarantine. You get the idea. 17 more in Georgia Tech, bringing the total to 33. And I think I already did one of these. I already did this Virginia Peninsula jail, but look, there was another jail. 33 inmates at Williamsburg jail. Wow. It's very interesting. This was something different. I don't know. This popped up because obviously what I was looking for 33 to get those 33 articles, and this was kind of something different. I don't think it was talking about 33 testing positive for, this was talking about an exam. But this photo, I had to put it because this photo with all the devil horns. A 33 story covered with people in devil horns and masks. And I'll just end with this because this is just something I see all the time too. Look at when like the timestamp for when articles are posted and how often it's 33. And oftentimes it's updated. They love updating articles on the 33. This was a, current event, what this video is talking about, article, and it was updated at 11:33. And there was another one here talking about the same subject, updated at 4:33. So they like to do that. And yeah, I'll just end on this note. The mark of the beast in the forehead or in the hand. And I think they really want to get people used to this idea of being scanned on the forehead. So there's definitely something there. You want to get into this building, you got to have your forehead scanned. They want to desensitize people to that idea. Hope you enjoyed the video. God bless everyone.